The moment Lily Chen spoke those words, everything Marcus thought he knew about love, family, and the walls he built around his heart began to crumble. Marcus Bradford had spent 15 years perfecting the art of saying no to his daughter. No to the stray puppy with muddy paws. No to the homeless man outside their building. No to anything that might complicate their carefully ordered existence. After his wife's death 3 years ago, control became his religion, and distance his prayer. He ran Bradford Industries with an iron fist and raised 6-year-old Lily with the same calculated precision, nannies, tutors, and a schedule that left no room for the messy unpredictability of real human connection. But tonight, as he sat across from his daughter in the corner booth of Danny's Diner, a hole-in-the-wall restaurant his assistant had mistakenly chosen for what was supposed to be a high-end business dinner, Marcus felt that control slipping through his fingers like sand. "Daddy, can we keep her?" Lily's voice rang out across the diner, her small finger pointing directly at their waitress. The woman in question, name tag reading, Sophie, froze mid-step, water pitcher tilted at a dangerous angle. Her cheeks flushed crimson as every head in the diner turned their way. She was young, maybe 25, with tired eyes that seemed too old for her face and a uniform that had seen better days. A small butterfly bandage covered a cut above her eyebrow. "Lily," Marcus hissed, his corporate composure cracking. People aren't pets. Apologize." But his daughter, who inherited his stubbornness along with his dark eyes, wasn't backing down. "But Daddy, she's sad. Like you. And she gave me her dinner." Marcus's attention snapped to Sophie, who was now desperately trying to blend into the cracked vinyl booth. "You did what?" It wasn't," Sophie stammered, then sighed, defeat written across her features. "Your daughter said she was hungry. The kitchen messed up an order, and it was just going to waste. I didn't think. She doesn't eat diner food," Marcus said coldly, the CEO in him emerging. "She has dietary restrictions, allergies. Mac and cheese, no additives, nothing artificial," Sophie interrupted quietly, meeting his eyes for the first time. "She told me. I checked every ingredient. I have a little brother with severe food allergies. I know how terrifying it is." Something in her voice, a rawness, a bone-deep exhaustion mixed with fierce protectiveness, made Marcus pause. He looked at his daughter, who was indeed happily finishing the last bites of what appeared to be homemade pasta. "Why are you working here if you have a brother to take care of?" The question came out harsher than he intended. Sophie's jaw tightened. "Because the nursing home where my grandmother is costs $3,000 a month, and my brother's medication is another $800. And I dropped out of college to keep us afloat, so this is what I can get. Not that it's any of your business, Mr. Bradford." She knew who he was. Of course she did. The Bradford name was plastered across half the buildings downtown. "Sophie." The manager's voice cracked across the diner like a whip. "Stop bothering the customers. Table 6 needs refills." As she hurried away, Marcus noticed the pronounced limp, the way she favored her left side. The butterfly bandage suddenly made sense, and so did the bone-deep weariness in her eyes. "She fell down the stairs yesterday," Lily announced, as if reading his mind. His daughter had always been unnervingly perceptive. "Carrying groceries for the old man upstairs. That's why she's hurt. She told me while you were on your phone. She tells good stories, Daddy. Like Mommy used to." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. Lily rarely mentioned her mother anymore. He'd thought that meant she was healing, moving on. Now he wondered if she'd simply stopped trying to reach him through the walls he'd built. "What kind of stories?" he heard himself ask. "About being brave even when you're scared. About how helping people makes the sad a little smaller." Lily's eyes, so much like her mother's, fixed on him with uncomfortable intensity. "You're always sad, Daddy. Maybe if you helped someone, you wouldn't be." Out of the mouths of babes, Marcus thought, something uncomfortable twisting in his chest. He watched Sophie move through the diner, refilling coffee, clearing tables, smiling at customers even as she clearly battled pain with every step. There was a grace to her movements, a quiet dignity that reminded him of. "She looks like Mommy," Lily whispered, as if she'd plucked the thought from his head. "Not her face. Her heart. Remember how Mommy always said the best people are the ones who give even when they have nothing left?" Marcus remembered. God, he remembered. His wife, Catherine, had driven him crazy with her bleeding heart and her insistence on seeing the good in everyone. She'd volunteer at shelters, donate to every cause, stop for every person in need. He'd loved her desperately and worried constantly that the world would break her gentle spirit. Then cancer had broken her instead, and Marcus had decided that caring too much, feeling too much, hurt too damn much. But watching his daughter's face light up as Sophie returned with dessert, on the house, she said quietly, setting down what was clearly her own piece of pie, Marcus felt something crack inside him. Something that had been frozen for 3 long years. Why? He asked suddenly. Why give her your dinner, your dessert? You're clearly struggling. Why help us? Sophie met his gaze, and for a moment, the diner faded away. Because your daughter smiled at me like I was worth something. Because in the 2 weeks I've worked here, she's the only customer who asked my name and meant it. Because, her voice dropped, became almost inaudible, because I know what it's like to lose your mom, and I see how hard she's trying to reach you through whatever walls you're hiding behind. And maybe you both deserve someone who'll try to reach back. The truth of it, the raw honesty, left Marcus speechless. The manager's firing me anyway, Sophie continued, a bitter smile crossing her face. I heard him on the phone earlier. Apparently I'm too slow since the fall. So I figured I might as well go out doing something that matters. You're fired. Lily's voice was small, devastated. It's okay, sweetheart. I'll find something else. But Marcus saw the lie in her eyes, the fear she was trying to hide from his daughter. In this economy, with no degree, an injury, and family responsibilities, Sophie was drowning, and she was still giving away her life preserver. No, Marcus said firmly. Both women looked at him in surprise. You won't find something else. You'll come work for me. Mr. Bradford, I don't need charity. It's not charity. My daughter needs someone who sees her, really sees her. Someone who tells stories and remembers allergies and knows that sometimes kindness matters more than protocols. Someone who reminds us both that feeling something, even sadness, means we're still alive. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. I'm a waitress. I don't have any qualifications. You have the only qualification that matters. My daughter trusts you. And I. Marcus paused, then pushed forward. I need someone to teach me how to feel again. To help. To be the man my wife believed I could be, the father my daughter deserves. Daddy, can we keep her? Lily repeated, but this time it wasn't a child's whim. It was hope. Marcus looked at Sophie, really looked at her, and saw not a waitress or a charity case, but a warrior. Someone who'd been beaten down by life and kept getting up. Someone who gave even when empty. Someone who, perhaps, could teach them all how to live again. Yes, he said softly, the word feeling like a promise. Yes, we can. And as Sophie's tears finally fell and Lily launched herself into an enthusiastic hug, Marcus felt his own eyes sting. For the first time since Catherine's death, the weight on his chest lifted just enough to breathe. Sometimes, he realized, the people we think we're saving are actually saving us. And sometimes saying yes to one person's humanity means finding your own again. It wasn't a perfect solution. There would be complications, questions, adjustments. But as Marcus watched his daughter laugh, really laugh, for the first time in months, he knew they'd figure it out together. After all, the best things in life are rarely found in boardrooms or calculated on spreadsheets. They're found in the messy, unpredictable moments when we choose connection over control, compassion over calculation, and let ourselves be human again.